Welcome, everyone. How are we doing on a lovely Friday evening here in Chicagoland? And let's extend our heartfelt concern for the people in Florida and down south in the path of that horrible hurricane. Hope everything there is going better. So today we're going to talk about, before you even think about doing something new, you want to 10x what's working. And this is such great advice because it seems, you get into this flow, you get inspired, this wonderful sensation of momentum fills your days and evenings. The excitement. And sometimes you get carried away and you want to you're kind of bored of the day-to-day activities and you want to do something new and to have that energy of a brand new campaign. But Alex Hormozy talks about how important it is to sort of hold your bearings and then just really get after it on what you know how to do so well. So without further ado, let's listen to Alex, see what he has got to say, and we'll take it from there. All right, Alex, take it away.
10, and this is big. Before you even think about doing something new, do 10 times more of what's already working. And so this is like one of the things, as soon as I buy a portfolio company, what I'll do is I go to the head of marketing, I go to the founder, and I say, hey, why can't we 10x what we're currently doing? Tell me why we can't. Honestly, 2 times out of 3, they're like, we could. And I'm like, then why aren't we doing that? And what happens is they have all these other priorities that are not going to 10x the business. And they have this one thing that we already know works, that we have nothing that's stopping us from 10xing the business. And I say, great, let's do that. Call me in 6 months. Now, the thing is in the 1 out of 3 times where they say, well, we can't 10x this because of this thing. Then I say, guess what the constraint of this business is? Solving that. And if you're doing anything but solving that, then you're not growing the business right as a founder. Rather, you're not growing it as fast as you could be growing it. You're doing outbound. It's like, great, why can't we do 10 times the outbound? Well, I don't have enough leads from lists. Okay, great. So our constraint of 10xing this business is that we need to find more sources for lists. So we need to either scrape more lists, we need to buy more lists, or make more lists ourselves. Okay, that's solvable. Let's do that. If it's, hey, if we 10x our advertising dollars, like we just need to add more to the budget. Oh, we can't do that because our ads aren't good enough. Okay, great. So we need to have more creative. That's the constraint of the business. If it's content, which is why can't we make 10x content or make our content 10 times better, or maybe realistically a combination of the two, which is we're going to put out 2 times the content and we're also going to try and make it 2 to 3 times better. Great. Then guess what? Now we have a 6x. Can we triple the content and make it 3 times better? Sure. Well, what did we do in the best content that we had that we're not doing in all the other pieces? Great. Can we templatize that and make that the playbook that we use with every piece of content? Great. We're not doing that? Cool. Let's do that before we do any of these other ideas that you had. And so a lot of entrepreneurs, because it's boring to them, they figured out how to do this one thing and they think, oh, I should figure out how to do something else. When once you get something to work, the whole goal is to beat the living hell out of it, is to squeeze every last drop from that thing that works. And you do as much as you possibly can, as well as you possibly can, before even thinking about doing something new. So let me walk you through the 5 stages of the traditional entrepreneur for advertising or even for business. They have something that they hear about that they think is cool, so they go into uninformed optimism. They're really optimistic, but they have no idea. Then they jump into this new thing and they become an informed pessimist. And so they find out way more about this thing, and then they're like, wow, this is actually kind of hard. And then they go to state like, wow, this isn't working, this isn't what I thought it was going to be. And then what they do is ... They start over at uninformed optimism because they hear something else is easier. But they miss out on step 4 and 5, which is they become an informed optimist. So they say, okay, I understand how outbound works. I understand how paid ads work. I understand how organic works and what are the things that it takes to scale and how much work it really is. And then finally they get to level 5, which is achievement, which is they actually achieve the goal. But most people just repeat 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, uninformed optimism, informed pessimism, value of despair, start back over. And they just hit all 3 of those over and over and over again, whether that's new marketing channels, new products, new businesses, and this is a version of the woman in the red dress, is that it's always deceptive to think that the new thing is going to be easier, and the only reason you think it's easier is because you don't know enough. I wish I could just give you the scar tissue of having done that 3-part triangle over and over again, but all I can tell you is that like when I get that little tickle in the back of my neck where I'm like, ooh, this looks exciting, it's now become a warning flag to me because I've been burned so many times doing it, to say, oh, I must not know enough about this because everything is hard. I'll give you an analogy that a mentor gave me that I really liked, and I think it applies to a lot of things, but when he was talking to me about departments in my business, he said, you have to know where the bodies are buried. And I was like, what do you mean by that? He said, have you ever talked to like a head of a department like IT or HR or legal or whatever, and they say, yep, everything's good. If you don't know what problems are actually going on in the department, you're too far away. And so that's, in a way, uninformed optimism. They're just telling you it's great and you don't know any better, so you're uninformed. But you should know enough about the business to know where all the bodies are buried. You should know where all the skeletons in the closet are. And so if you're getting into a new thing, you have to know all of the ways, or as many ways as you possibly can about what's going wrong. And once you do a little bit more research, you often find out that there's a lot of things you don't know about, and guess what? The thing you do know is working right now, and the likelihood that you doing 10 times more of that has far fewer unknowns than you doing brand new on something net new. Entrepreneurship already has so many risks and so much unknown. Bezos talks about this. He says, we want to manage as many of the risks as we can. So, of course, we're going to incur some risks that are going to happen that are unforeseen to us. But the risks that we know about, we want to limit to the greatest degree possible because there's enough risk of our business going out of business by being a business. Why take on more risk for no need? It's risking what you have and need to survive for what you don't have and don't need. Which brings me to number 11, which is growth is stressful. Stagnation is stressful.
Okay, all right. Was a little bit late on the reaction there. Don't know what happened. Let's give them a round of applause. Wasn't that awesome? Wasn't that outstanding? The triangle of despair. Yes. Uninformed optimism. And then you realize that how hard it is. And then you go into this into the valley of despair. So well put. Such a crazy way of looking at some really hard-hitting business ideas. Really like Alex. Let's give him another round of applause. So once again, today's message: before you even think about doing something new, 10x what's working. Look at your business. Say, I want to 10x this, and says, well, we can't really 10x this because we don't have enough leads. And so, okay, well, that is the problem. You just answered your question. Let's get better leads. What is the bottleneck in the business? And that's what you find out when you say, okay, this is working. Let's 10x it, 10x this. And so that's what I'm doing with these broadcasts, these live streams. My LinkedIn numbers are just going through the roof, and then you just keep it up, and then they just keep getting bigger and bigger. So I want to squeeze, just like he said, every last bit out of these streams, and I want to see how far, what the limit is, because I make an effort, right, to create a interesting looking thumbnail. And it's Friday, so I got the music kind of jamming a little bit more up there than I usually do. And I just try to create value, something entertaining, something valuable, and something that looks good. And if you, and did you ever notice, it was like, all right, COVID is here, everything is horrific, nothing's happening, we're all locked down, everybody was hit hard. And what happened was, during COVID, is pitching went online for the first time. Art auctions went online in a serious way for the first time. So now, isn't it interesting? Both of these industries, raising capital, and art auctions, where hundreds of millions of dollars can change hands instantly. Both of those industries are saying, man, there's a huge slowdown. There's a slowdown in deals. There's a slowdown in the art market. Must be some sort of cataclysmic change that was instigated with the lockdown or so on and so forth. But what if people are moving online and the online presentations are just so horrifically bad and boring, just so nightmarishly unprofessional, just with people who have absolutely no experience in broadcast television, are using a broadcasting platform, whether it's Zoom or OBS or Streamlabs. So here's this broadcasting platform, and then you're using it. You have some just really amateurish background. You don't have a green screen, so the fill in the background is coming in and out. You don't have good lighting. You don't have good sound. Right now we have stereo sound. Listen to the stereo sound. And if you notice, my voice is mono. That's all produced that way for a reason. We've got hand claps here, applause track. And those are all elements of a $3.5 trillion industry. Since the 1950s till today, the broadcast TV segment, I'm not talking about cinema, broadcast TV is around $3.5 trillion. And they did it using the exact same techniques that you're seeing here. Right? So if you want to continue in this valley of despair, as Alex puts it, and you want to continue trying to raise capital with just presentations online that are the most boring snooze fest that anyone can possibly imagine, with people going like, okay, yeah, that was my introduction, and now we're going to share the screen, Where is the button to share the screen? I don't see. Do you see? Can you give me the permission to share this screen, please? Right? You know what I'm talking about. The moment your audience, whoever it is, whatever it is, whether you're raising capital, trying to get your idea across like a TEDx thing or whatever it is you're trying to do, the moment the chemistry of boredom seeps into a person's brain, it's over. All right? The amount of work that you have to do to bring them back, so whatever it is that you're saying, so whatever story you're telling resonates, is almost insurmountable. Boredom is the death nail to any type of television show, movie, or pitch, or presentation, or whatever it is that you're doing. You don't want to be boring. And there is no reason to be amateurish, to have an amateurish presentation. Why? Because you've got me here, all right? Give me a shout out, info@liamgalegas.com. Let's create a presentation that will just blow people's minds. You don't have to be as flamboyant as I am, but you should at least have 4 items: screen share, a picture, a video that you can go to at the click of a mouse. You don't have that, okay? See that? Did you see that wide shot to a close-up? And all of that can be done. You have to invest your time, but all of this is being done on a free tool. This is a Restream. I'm using the free version. All right. So thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Let the party continue. It's Friday night. We're going to let the music jam for a while, and we'll catch you next time. All right. Take care. Au revoir.